My name is Mr. Navarro again. I'm Mr. Joel Navarro. I will be your trainer in computer system servicing. We will now discuss on how to configure the RAID drive. I am using a server computer. This is a Dell computer. We're going to configure two hard drive to connect it is as a RAID connection. So this is the simple interface of a RAID drive. This is a version of BIOS with RAID support. So these are now the location of the controller, the disk group, virtual disk, physical disk, space allocation. So these are the menu. So these are the interface of a simple BIOS for RAID configuration. There are several developer of BIOS that support RAID. So at this point, we see that there is two physical drive. Before you configure, you make sure that the two drive are connected online. The state should be properly online, which means the online disk is properly connected. So you can attach two or more, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, or even 10 hard drive connected. Okay, so we will now try to configure the RAID connection. Okay, so these are the configuration for the RAID connection. So it is controlled by the BIOS. So we will now remove the configuration. So click controller, then initialization, then delete virtual drive, then click yes. So there is no configuration. So the drive is now wiped out. So the data can never be recovered. So we will now create a new virtual drive. Okay. So in this sample, we have only two drive. So the probable methodology that we can use is RAID 0 or extended, or RAID 1, or we call it redundant. So, but if you put 2 or 3 or more hard drive, we can use the RAID 5 or the RAID 10. So at this point, we have only two. The option is only RAID 0, which is the extended, and RAID 1, which is the redundant. RAID 0 means the two drive will multiply the size. For example, disk 1 is 5 gig, disk 2 is 5 gig. The total will be 1 terabyte. So RAID 1 will be redundant, which means whichever is the size of disk 1 will be the same, because this will use as a mirror of another disk. Okay, so next procedure is we will now configure the drive. We will put the name of virtual drive. You can put it blank. So when you create a drive, it is recommended that you need to initialize the drive, the initialize also known as format or delete, to make sure that your disk has no content when you create a new logical drive. Okay, the disk is now ready. The virtual drive is now created. So we're now going to initialize the disk. Okay, next is we're going to use the fast initialize, or in other words, they call it fast boot, fast format, quick format in other computer, to make it more faster. Okay, this will now initialize. Okay, so we notice that the status is very fast. It will work approximately 5 to 10 seconds.